Welcome to show number 8 of KJ's Helping KJ's, and we're here in the KJ Chill on Zoom. Welcome, Dennis. Hello, Dennis.
Hello.
Hello, Richard from Nashua, New Hampshire. DJ Richie Rich in the
Hello,
house.
everybody.
And it wouldn't be complete if we didn't have old K-Dog
Okay,
in here.
dog.
Hello,
Yes.
Kevin. Matt,
Kevin.
hello, my friend.
Matt.
Greetings.
So tonight we've got a couple things to talk about, and we won't keep you people watching too long out there in YouTube world, but hopefully you can benefit from this if you're starting out in karaoke, and especially this first topic. There's a thing that most KJs call set and forget. Matt, you want to explain what that means? Just
Well, it's basically where the KJ basically sets all the knobs how they think they should be set, and they don't adjust for every singer like they should.
right, meaning treble, mid-range, bass. Every
Right.
singer needs some attention.
Yeah,
Soon as they grab that mic, and you as the KJ will hear automatically, okay, she's got a high voice. Let me turn the highs down a little bit, or a guy comes up like, and I got a great example. It's like when Dennis used to come to my shows. He did Johnny Cash, and he did him well. So I would also give him a little extra attention on the bass to get that Johnny Cash voice,
and the reverb.
that deep, right.
Yeah.
And that's another thing is the reverb. I left that out. It wasn't just bass, mid-range treble, but reverb. Some people want a lot or need a lot of reverb
Right.
to make them, because the better they sound, the better you look. You know? And I know we're not magicians. I mean, some people you just can't make sound good. I don't care what you do,
Yep.
unless you pass out earplugs or paper towels for the ears. But so, Rich, do you set and forget, or do you adjust for every singer? Be honest. I mean, this is just
I don't I set and forget when it comes to so I was explaining to these guys earlier. My on singer to singer, I do leave the bass at 9 o'clock. I leave the treble at 12 o'clock. And I leave the mid at about 11 o'clock. I do adjust the gain is what I move from singer to singer because, as you guys know, you got some really powerful singers, you got some really drunk singers, and then you got really quiet singers. So, really, to best answer that question, I would have to say from singer to singer, the only thing that I adjust is the gain, and it sounds good to me and the singers. I never get a complaint. That's just me, though.
okay. So you're a set and forget guy,
Yes.
other than the game, which we can
Correct.
all do that, right?
Correct.
Kevin, let's go to you.
Yes.
Same question.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I like to, as Buddy would say, I like to touch my knobs. So,
Oh God.
so
Let's start this show over. Really, you went there.
So I do adjust. I one thing I did do to make it more uniform is I have two mics and they're two identical mics. So I know if you had like one brand of mic and maybe a different brand of mic, you might get differences. But I did go with two of the exact same mics. Mine is different. Mine's a higher end mic. So those two are for them, and they're sort of set accordingly to how that mic performs. But no, I get some people that keep it up where they should. I get some that put the microphone down at their belly button, and or they're this, and so you're always having to. The other night, I did a bicycle show for the local city police. and the police officer was loud, soft, because he was, you know. So I'm just, trying to match what he's doing with the mic. So it's the same thing with the karaoke. I'm always adjusting.
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
And I mean,
meanwhile,
I even do that with some of the karaoke because some of them will have vocals, and I think it's sort of distracting to some of the singers. So I try to, try to lessen that as much as I can. So it's like I said, I'm always working the mixer.
yeah. And meanwhile, while you're doing that up and down to make it, it makes it your job a little harder because they don't know how to hold the mic, like you just said.
Yeah.
So you're going to get feedback. And
Yeah.
who does that reflect on? Not the singer, because even the singer or whoever, like in your case, it was a speaker, right?
Yeah.
They're going to look at you like, what are you doing? Well, if you hold the mic
Yeah.
and
Sometimes,
leave it, it's
Yeah.
not going to happen, Yeah.
Sometimes I will even is like, ladies and gentlemen, just a little bit of information here. It's always best to keep the mic in a certain position. So close, like maybe a couple fingers away from your mouth, and keep it consistent. Up and down, up and down. You're just not doing yourself you're doing yourself a disservice.
Or when you have two people singing and they aim the mics towards each other, don't you love that?
Or they're
Yeah.
like face to face. It's
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
feedback automatically.
Exactly. It makes you look bad again.
Or this.
Yeah.
Yo.
Oh yeah,
When they
Yeah.
cup it.
They'll cup it.
That's feedback automatically.
Right.
Yep, I had two people to that great point, Eric. I had two people for Friday night doing a duet, and they're going to sing. They were probably obviously the husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, right? But put the both mics there each other. I'm like, no, don't do that.
I don't know why they have to do that. They come up like this so close, and it's like you're doing a duet,
Yeah, and you hear to sing, not kiss.
Right.
That's exactly what they're doing, and
You're right.
The other thing I thought about doing,
as
but I
a
don't know
host.
that it'll help, is if you actually put the mic on a mic stand, maybe that would sort of control them a little more.
No,
Yep.
it don't.
Yep.
It don't.
They're gonna take it right out of the stand.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
Yeah.
Because
You got them fumbling around with the stand and all that stuff, and that's
yeah.
you end up weaponizing the stand. That you end up taking it and using it like a rock star or something.
No, but it sounds like you brought a good point, Kevin. That I think if you might need to remind these drunk people a couple of times, but starting off the show, like you brought a great point. Say, hey, try not to, if you're singing a duet, keep the microphones real close, or don't stand close to the speaker. That's really all we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
got some
it's,
singers that are addicted to singing right smack in front of the speaker.
Oh yeah, that's what I liked about
Unbelievable.
quarter mics because you could tape them in place and they couldn't go any.
They got they're holding the mic up. They're standing right in front of the speaker. They're not facing the speaker. They got their back to the speaker, so the speaker's behind them, and the mic is facing the speaker. So what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
It's,
it's like it's almost to a point where you got to like put a marking on the floor saying "stand here."
Yeah. Great point,
stand on
Kevin.
the X.
Great point,
Stand
Kevin.
on the X.
Great point, Kevin. Though, I mean, all you can do is, you might have to say it a couple times, but,
Try to put the speakers as far apart as possible so they won't stand in front of them.
That, or
Yeah.
you control how far they can go by giving them a short leash, as in wired mic and
Right,
short.
that's what I just said. Like you could tape the wires in place and they can't go that far.
Yeah.
Tape. There's a difference, though. There's a difference between taping the wire so that if you just go from mic to your mixer, right?
Yeah.
They walk off. There goes your mixer with them.
I know that's why I don't like wire.
So be mindful of this if you're watching on YouTube, that if you want to keep a short leash, if you're using a wired mic, I would recommend what Dennis just said and tape down as far as you want them to go. Because otherwise, you're not going to catch it in time,
No.
and your mixer's going to go with them right off the table. It's just,
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Unless you're using a
because-
wireless system, then you're,
well, the
then
wireless, yeah.
that's not an option.
I've got the Shure wireless, but I've stopped using them, which I've talked to you guys about because I got that old wired Shure.
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah.
silver one.
Yeah.
And that's on
Yeah,
a
the old
mic stand.
fashioned style.
That's on a mic stand. Now
Yep.
it goes down the mic stand, and I can clip it, the XLR to the mic stand, so that kind of so that it's not getting tangled, you know.
And it prevents them from walking around.
Well, it really don't. But I give them enough leash. But let's face it, if they're on a mic stand, they're not going to take it and run. I think if it's in their hand, they're going to try and run with it, they think
Yeah,
they
the
get
mics
more.
the mic you use,
Right.
the mic that you use, it's attached to the stand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Correct.
So you can't take it off.
Yeah.
They can't pull that off. Right.
It's screwed on. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Dennis, set and forget.
I was no, I didn't set and forget. I pretty much was in tune with my singers.
Every singer was different.
Yeah, I did kind of a preset, but I kind of kept up with each singer. You know your singers, unless it's someone you don't know, but you know your singers what they needed, so you tried to do your best that you could for
Right.
them.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. We're not magicians.
No.
However, we want them to sound the best they can sound to our ability.
Right.
And that's all we can do. I've got singers that come to me and say, yeah, I go to 10 other shows or whatever, and you're the only one that gives me the right amount of reverb and the right amount of
Right.
highs, lows. And I'm like, well, I try,
You always do a good job, Eric.
but no, I'm not patting myself on the
No,
back.
I know you're
That's
not, but
all I'm
I
saying.
always noticed that about you. You always did that very well.
I think everyone in this room right now, we're very particular on how we want our sound to be.
Yeah.
Whether it be a singer or just music, we know what sound we want coming out of those speakers before we even start a gig.
Right.
Now, the only thing that you got to keep readjusting is each singer. The music's fine. You've got that set. Sometimes you got to turn the bass down a little bit on the mixer. Yeah, every song's different, but that's minor compared to 20 singers or more, 30, some of us.
Yeah.
Matt, you've got over 30 some nights, And if you're gonna be, and I'm gonna get to you in a moment. Thanks for being patient, Matt.
No problem.
But no, I mean he's over there like, oh, not me. No. Am I next? That goes back to a few shows ago.
Am I
I love
next?
that. Yeah, there you go.
Is this something we're gonna have to have in every show? It's like that. I was like, he hasn't done it yet. Oh, there he goes.
I just lost all train of thought. Just because of Matt going up to the camera like that. It kind of scared me a little bit. No, but like if you're adjusting 30 singers, 20, I'll just say 20 singers. It's to your advantage, not theirs.
Exactly.
Just remember that. Just remember that. Because everybody, including the singer, is going to say, God, I never sounded so good. What did you do? I'm like, that's my secret. That's what I do. If you sound good, it makes me look good. Correct? I mean, we all agree? The better they sound, the better you look as a KJ. And that's always been my philosophy. Matt, do you set and forget?
To a point, but I mean, not too much. I'm probably a lot like Rich, where I adjust the gain on the mics, depending on how they're like holding it or whatever. And As far as the songs go, the music itself, some songs are recorded at a higher level or a lower level than others. So you got to kind of be mindful of that as well. And if you've been doing this for a long time, then you kind of know which ones are louder than others or whatever. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
But as far as like the highs and the mids and the lows and whatever, I don't really mess with those too much. I've got a digital mixer, QSC Touch Mix 8, so it's really
Okay, see, those are different. Those are different than compared to a up and down
analog.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yep.
So
it's got to switch to another screen, and it's just I don't know. There's a simple format, and then there's like the if you're a technical engineer or whatever, and sound waves and all that kind of stuff or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
no,
I'm not one of those guys.
QSC,
I'm not a tech, but I try to do as best I can as far as
that QSC touch mixer. I know they're not one of our sponsors, but I just want to just say one thing about it. I did try it, and it wasn't mine to try, but I tried it. A friend of mine had one.
Sure.
There was no happy medium when I tried to turn them up or down. It was like it would get down 2 or up 2. I couldn't get it like a half mark. And we talked off camera about this, Matt, you and I, and you said there's a secret to it, but we won't get into that. But speaking of sponsors, real quick, let's thank our sponsors. Let's thank John Young, who makes this room happen. Let's thank his son, Michael, who puts all this together and throws it up on YouTube. And the views are great, by the way, on YouTube. I don't know. I try and send everyone that's in the room a link when Michael posts it to YouTube and airs it. And it's going great. I want to thank all the viewers for clicking on that. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and most of all, check out the sponsors that scroll on the bottom of that YouTube screen. One of my favorites is madebydjs.com. I love that one. Just if you've never gone on that, please just go on there. That's one of my and Matt, give me the other ones.
We've got EV.
Yes.
We've got Pro X Direct.
Yeah.
Odyssey, I think, is in there.
All right, enough of you. Kevin, go.
I'm right here. Oh, you want to know? Well, there's
this show is
sponsor, sir.
Yeah.
Name another sponsor that I haven't mentioned. There you go.
DJ Event Planner, correct. Yeah.
And then
which is another great
DJ one. Requests. So if you can put in a musical request, make it easy on you. And did you say Odyssey cases?
Odyssey.
Yep.
I believe
Matt Odyssey. Yep. Matt said Odyssey. Yep.
Pro X, right? Pro
X. Matt said Pro X. Yep.
Yep.
And that's as Porky Pig said, that's all, folks.
No, well, you know what? And we're aiming for more. We're still trying to get Amazon involved, and which would be great. But however, I do believe that you guys that are watching this right now on YouTube, you would benefit from all these that are scrolling at the bottom of the screen. For instance, if you're just starting out doing karaoke, click on or just type it in your what do you call that? URL or whatever up top. Yeah.
The browser.
Search djntvnews.com/karaoke mics. And bam, you're going to have a bunch of options if you do that. If you're looking to get mics, because Kevin brought up mics tonight. And Kevin, I'm proud of you. You got 2 of the same mic. Round of applause for Kevin, please.
Good job, Kevin.
No,
Nice.
really. I think it's important. And I wanted to just go back to what you said about that, Kevin. When you're first starting out, you may have 2 oddball mics to start because one, if you're just starting out, you don't know how long this career is going to last, how long, And then once you start getting shows, you're like, okay, I'm going to step up. I'll get two of the same. And you can either choose, and we're not bringing up brands here. I'm just saying which one was better than the other and grab another one of those. So now, because it's difficult to, while we're talking about the subject, set and forget, you got to remember that each mic is going to sound different.
Right.
Mhm.
So if you set and forget with two different mics, it's going to be awkward. Like
Yeah.
you're going to set and forget one and just do the same setting for the second, and you're going to wonder why singer two, if it's a duet, is much lower, or. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. Now, before I'm not ready to wrap it up yet, but I do want to talk to Matt because Matt had something happen to him last Friday. And I also think this is very important, not just for KJs, but for even a DJ, you know? And speaking of that, we want you to check out John Young's other channel, which is DJN TV News / chill. That's for DJs only. And see, the KJs are on this page now. Although we intertwine, like some of us will go into the other room and vice versa. But check out DJNTV .com/chill Monday and Tuesday nights, and that's at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is where all DJs from around the world, and believe me when I say around the world, they're from everywhere in that room. And just check them out because we're not just KJs, we're also DJs. I think some of us started as DJs before coming a KJ. It was just like an add-on to what we did. I know Dennis, you were a
That's right.
DJ
That's how I did
before.
it.
Rich, you were.
Yep.
Kevin, I know you were because you added on the karaoke. Matt, I'm not quite sure how you started. Was it DJ and then karaoke?
Yes, I started out as a DJ back in like
Yeah.
88, 89,
Mhm.
and then I got into the karaoke thing around 99 working for somebody else, and then
Yeah.
about 2004 I broke off on my own and been a single up ever since.
I think it's fair to say nobody wakes up one day and says, I want to be a KJ.
Yeah.
Really, I think you start as a DJ, correct? Does that make sense? Or
I
maybe
think you go into it.
Well, I
Yeah, I
think
think
I think you really, you should start as a DJ before you become a KJ to grab some experience and because as I mentioned to you guys before, and I think you guys can agree, there's a lot more to being a KJ than some people might see.
Oh yeah,
I mean, there's a lot to it. There really
a
is, guys.
lot
If
to
you
it.
if you think about it, it's not
And
just playing music.
no,
There's you got to keep your rotation. You got to play the right songs in between singers.
right. You got to keep
Um,
people happy,
yeah, 100%. So do you
right?
guys agree with that? I mean, I think
Both the
that
audience and the singers. Yeah,
yeah,
you
I
got
think
to
it's
keep
a
I
great
see.
think it's a great thing to start as a DJ before you
yeah.
become a KJ.
I agree with you 100%. Not only that, what you just brought up, Rich, but someone to just want to jump in from no background in. First of all, you got to learn sound. You've got to learn unity, with the mixer and the
Yeah.
sound, clean signals. Excuse me. So you can't just jump in. Well, maybe you can, but and this is what happens a lot, as I've got many like regulars that come into my shows, like Matt and Rich, and Kevin, but and they're like, I want to do this. I want to be a host like you're doing. I'm like, would you get any back? Well, no, you can train me. I'm like, no, I can't. Because it's either in you or it's not, you
Right.
know? You can't. Every DJ I've ever trained never made it.
Yeah.
You know, I would give advice.
Right.
I'll give advice all day long. Whether they take it or use it, that's up to them. But you can't train someone to have the ear and
No.
the eye for what's in front of them.
Yeah. They got to.
It's either in you, or it's not, you know?
Right.
And that's just my opinion. And
Yeah.
you guys in YouTube watching this, please put a comment in the comment section if you disagree with me, because we will touch on this again if you guys comment. But in my eyes, it's like you have a singer that comes to your show and they're like, hey, I want to do what you do. I want to be a host.
In 25 years, you can. If you 25 years of DJing, you can do this too.
I wouldn't say 25.
No, but I mean, I'm
years.
just saying that.
understand.
You know what I mean?
You're exaggerating. We all know that. But anyway, let's cut all this up. But Matt, explain to everybody what happened to you last Friday, because I think this is very important. Take it over, my friend.
Yeah, I kind of want to use this as not to really turn this into like mega serious or whatever, but it is a serious thing. And I want to kind of use this as a bit of a teaching moment, I guess. I had a situation on Friday night where one of the patrons was injured due to the way that I set up, I guess. So I have my karaoke monitor on a tripod stand right in front of the singer. And then to the right of that on the floor, kind of angled in, is a floor monitor speaker, QSC 12.2, same as my mains. And right in front of that, or I guess if you're standing up there singing, behind the floor monitor speaker is one of my tube lights. So you can't really miss that floor monitor speaker because it's obviously lit up by the tube light. It's upright. I mean, it lights up everything. Anyway, I don't know if she had too much to drink or something, or maybe she just wasn't watching where she was walking. What ended up happening was she went to exit the singing area, and she went to go the way of trying to go over my monitor speaker, and she somehow stumbled and fell on top of it. And then at the same time that she fell, she went headfirst into the back of a chair. So her right above her eye had a big cut. And then she also got a cut on her leg from my speaker. So she had to get 12 stitches on her leg. And then her forehead was like glued, I guess they said. I really felt bad about this, and this has happened to me one other time, like probably about 10 or 12 years ago. There was a gal that same thing. She fell over my monitor speaker, wasn't watching where she was walking or whatever. I mean, everybody else can see where this thing is. So it's like kind of a no-brainer, like you walk around it, but I guess she wasn't really watching where she was walking. She fell and broke her wrist, and she ended up filing a lawsuit against me in that case. So I'm kind of worried about this one too. Like, I don't know if she's gonna turn around and put this on me or something like that or whatever. But anyway, it's just a thing where, and I think you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't. It's no matter how you do it, how really into drunk proofing everything as best as you can.
I like how you put that. Yeah.
Right.
Well, the thing I was wondering is, you said you have a tripod with monitor thing.
Yes.
Can you tie like police tape or caution tape from that to something so they can't go that way? You need one of those controlling traffic kind of stretchy things, and like you can't go that way. You got to go this way.
Oh, like you have like at a movie theater or whatever, like those rope off things.
Or like you're waiting in line at the amusement park. That sort of forces you to go back and forth.
Sure.
That's having to go a long ways just for that. I mean, people should have a little bit of common sense. You don't go over a mic.
Yeah, I mean, think about how long you've been. Sorry, Dennis. Think about how long you've been doing this, Matt. And I heard the point you say this is only the second time this has happened to you. So I'm willing to bet that she had too much to drink. I would definitely, just as a suggestion, see if she had, because if she was obviously brought to the hospital, what was her alcohol content level? Ask the bartenders, did she seem drunk? And did you not putting it on the bartenders, but putting it on the lady? Where did did she seem drunk? I mean, but this is, you said this is only the second time you haven't lit up. The people are just, it doesn't matter if they're drunk. They're idiots. I'm sorry.
I used to carry liability insurance just for that reason.
I absolutely do.
Good. Good.
Yeah. And if it's not covered, Dennis said you could use his credit card here. I have it.
Oh, you got it. Thank you.
In case you lose the suit.
Right. The name
but,
on that is
Thank
Derek.
you, Dennis. Yeah.
Just to protect you.
What's the backside look like on that?
It's a small claims, Eric.
Since this
Small
is,
claims. I see what he did there. Yeah.
Chump change.
Since this has happened, I've actually considered, maybe putting some yellow duct tape all around the edge of that monitor speaker.
Oh,
so it actually
dark.
So it's a little bit easier to see or whatever. Because I mean, when you're in that venue, okay, so you've got can lights up above where the singers are, and then you got there's more can lights above the tables, right out in front of where the singers are. So I mean, you'd have to see this room to really get an idea of how it's laid out. And then the bar is up above, so everybody that is out there in the audience is facing the singers. And so when it gets late enough, all the lights come off. The only thing lighting up that area is my 6 glow tubes. So it is kind of dark down there when all those lights come off. So
what I would recommend.
So I made a point that no matter what, those can lights that are above where the singers are, those stay on all night for safety purposes. You know what I mean? Because I don't need this happening again. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's a hard area to set up in because it's so tight. You've got like maybe, from the front of the monitors, or I guess when you're up there, the back side of the monitor, from that point to the table that's in front of that is probably not even 2 feet, if that. It's just enough to just walk through. You know what I mean? So it's a really tight spot. I thought about putting the monitor speaker right in front of the monitor tripod.
Yeah, it's on the other side.
That doesn't leave a whole lot of that doesn't leave a whole lot of room for the singers to stand. You know what I mean? It makes it really tight. So I don't know.
Maybe you need a monitor speaker that's
with the monitor.
Sorry, what was that?
Can I ask a question? Or who said that? Wait,
I said do away with the monitor.
The monitor speaker, just get rid of it.
Yeah, I never used one.
You know what, Dennis? I've never used one either. It's all on how you aim.
I never used one either before, but
I
had some people requesting it, and so I decided to.
Well, that's so they can.
That's all right.
They complain that they couldn't hear themselves.
Well, I know you said you have insurance, Matt, right? But regardless, let's say this lady tries to push it on you, right? Again, just as a suggestion, It didn't happen to me. It happened to another DJ, this similar instance. You have to make sure you press for what was her alcohol content. And I mean, if she's going to try to put on you, say, I believe that she was pretty buzzed. This is the second time it's ever happened to me. This is my
too late. It's too late to even figure that out, what her content was at this point.
Unless they tested her at the hospital.
But I'm saying if they had say to you, well, we didn't test her, well, say then you don't know if she was drunk or she wasn't. But to me, she seemed like she was buzzing.
Then it's his word against hers. That's all. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, it's a sticky situation. It really is.
It is. Yeah.
Sorry you're going through that, Matt.
Well, the other thing you could do, and I don't know if they make them. I know they make some. You get one of those lovely LED speakers that the
I've seen those at Costco.
If they have one that's a monitor based, that way it would be glowing. They would see it there. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they make monitor based ones.
I guess bottom line is maybe take a picture if you haven't already. Take a picture. Make sure you take a picture of your setup. If you haven't already, I'm sure you have. You seem like you're good like that. But and say, hey, this is my setup from week to week. This thing is clearly visible.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, let me ask one
cape and put it on it. Put it on the edge of your speaker.
Yeah. Let me ask one question, Matt. Is this, from what I'm picturing, that she exited the stage, not the common route to get out of that stage?
There you go.
That is not your problem.
Exactly.
The common area up and down to that stage, if I'm picturing, if I'm behind where you're at, is to the left, right?
Yes.
Or maybe, and she exited
one
to
way
the
in,
right.
one way out.
Yeah.
But she did not even go in that direction.
Yeah.
Therefore, this does not lie on you. I'm sorry.
Curious.
So just to give you a better idea of how my setup is, okay, so you got the Karaoke monitor in front of you, the monitor speakers on the floor angled in towards the singers or whatever so they can hear themselves. And then there's like a little bit of a gap from the edge of the speaker to where my booth is. So when you're up there singing, I'm to the right of you with my back to you. So does that make sense? My booth is facing.
I follow you.
Yeah. Draw a picture. Hurry up. Draw a picture. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
There really is like a really small, basically I just leave like a really small gap in between my booth and that monitor speaker just for me to get in and out in an easy way. It's not really so much for the singers. The singers can come in and out from the other side. There's a big enough gap there for them to, go in and out. But she decided to go this other way and she took a tumble.
To Eric's point, number one, she didn't trip coming in to sing, right? When she
came in to sing.
Because she came in the correct way.
She came in the right
way. Exactly.
She came in the right way, but she went out the wrong way.
Now, the other question I have is, was this her first time singing, or had she already been singing once?
This was her second time singing that night.
There you go.
Once,
and the first time she went in and out correctly.
Yeah.
There you go.
So she knew the procedure.
Yeah, you're good.
Hi, Ma. Everybody say hi to Ma in the background. That's Ma. Hi, Ma.
Hello, Ma.
You can't hear us. She's got her YouTube on listening to Miley Cyrus.
Matt, you're totally good. You're totally good, Matt. It's not anything you're doing wrong, or that your setup is not safe. It's not you at all. That's what I hear.
I'll fly out and represent you. You need my assistance, my friend? I'll be out there. All right, let's wrap it up.
She wrote me a note. Okay. She says next time change the background. She wrote me a note. Next time change the background behind you, so they can't see me.
Oh, come on, Ma. We love seeing you. She makes my night when she shows up. Does. Listen, guys, great show. Thank you all
Yes.
for
Yeah,
being here.
great show.
And we're going to think of what we're going to do for next week. Meanwhile, you guys watching in YouTube world, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Check out DJNTV News / chill Monday and Tuesday nights.
Okay.
I want to promote this as well, and it's for DJs only. And if you're just getting started in KJs, you're going to learn a lot in this DJ room about sound,
Yes, yeah.
equipment,
Everything.
microphone.
Everything
Yeah.
related.
So check them out too, please. It's only going to benefit you guys. So you guys take care until next week. Peace out.